Good evening, televiewers. You are watching the 7 p.m. on Reflets African television. Here are the headlines. Cameroon Chantal Biya's 2020 Cycling Great Prize. The competition kicks off today, November 18, 2020 in Douala. The government of Cameroon has restricted access to secondary school campuses only to students putting on a face mask in a bid to fight the resurgence of the COVID-19 cases. Government announces new polio vaccination through a press release by the Minister of Communication, René Emmanuel Sadi. That is all we had for the titles of the 7 p.m. news edition of today, November 18, 2020. As we announced earlier in the headlines, Chantal Biya's 2020 Cycling Great Prize kicked off today, November 18, 2020 in Douala. 60 runners from Europe and Africa will compete in a 95-kilometer criterium in the arteries of the economic capital. Details in this report. After the presentation ceremony of the teams and officials yesterday, the first pedal stroke was given today, November 18, 2020 in Douala in the presence of the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Mwele-Kombi. This is a 95 kilometers criterium of a closed circuit in the district of Douala 3. It will be contested by 60 riders from the 10 European teams, French military team and Dukla Banska Bistrica from Slovakia, and Africa, Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Democratic Republic of Congo, Benin, Rwanda and Mali. Cameroon, host country, fielded two teams, SNH Velo Club and the national team. After Douala, the competition will take place over a total of 685.3 kilometers in 4 of the 10 regions of the country, that is Littoral, Center, South and East regions. Will set off for its second Akonolinga Abong Bang stage, 139.5 kilometers on November 19, 2020. The third stage, Yaoundé Ebolowa, Nkolandom, 167 kilometers, will be run on November 20, 2020, while the penultimate stage, Zwetele, Nkwang, Meyong Mesala, 116.4 kilometers, will be run on November 21, 2020. The Sangmelima Yaoundé epilogue, 166.4 kilometers, is scheduled for November 22, 2020. The Cameroonian riders will be closely watched, like Clovis Kamzong Abesolo, who has arguments to win this 20th edition of the Chantal Biya Grand Prix. But it will also be necessary to count on the Rwandans, Burkinabe and Ivorians, who are not far from creating the surprise, without forgetting a Slovaks, of which Merek Konkensi occupied the second. The Cameroonian riders will be closely watched, like Clovis Kamzong Abesolo, who has arguments to win this 20th edition of the Chantal Biya Grand Prix. But it will also be necessary to count on the Rwandans, Burkinabe and Ivorians, who are not far from creating the surprise, without forgetting the Slovaks, from which Merek Koneki occupied the second place of the 2019 edition, won by the Algerian Azzedine Lagbak. We remain in the sports section, where the International Federation of Football Association FIFA has ruled in favor of the Cameroon Football Federation FECAFOOT as concerns the saga between the FECAFOOT and the Cameroon Professional Football League. The FECAFOOT team had to withdraw the rights of hosting the game from the LFPC after the November 1 games in Yaoundé, which recorded irregularities. Promise Fosso has the details.
The FIFA decision follows a video meeting held with actors of local football in Cameroon on Friday, November 13, 2020. Contrary to claims by the Cameroon Professional Football League that it has the right of organizing local football championship in Cameroon, FIFA shifted the rights to FECAFOOT. The president of the Cameroon Professional Football League, General Pierre Semungwe, had earlier launched the professional championship on October 31st, following a decision from the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Even though the FECAFOOT body advanced irregularities recorded within the professional league since General Pierre took lead, the court recognized the Professional Football League as the legitimate organizers of football championship in Cameroon. After several postponements, the Cameroon Football Federation, that FECAFOOT, had set Sunday, November 22, 2020 for the kick-off for the local Elite One Professional Football League in Cameroon. In a release published by the Communications Department of FECAFOOT on November 17, 2020, all football actors have been called upon to work for a successful 2020-2022 football season in Cameroon. The FECAFOOT body, headed by Seydou Mbombo-Njoya, has set a new date for the commencement of the championship after a release from the World Football Governing Body FIFA. The International Supervisory Body granted supervision rights for local football championship to the Cameroon Football Federation.
The government of Cameroon has restricted access to secondary school campuses only to students putting on a face mask in a bid to fight the resurgence of the COVID-19 cases in a communiqué published this Tuesday, November 17. The Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalo Valyonga, informs the education community, including parents, that a high degree of negligence have been observed in the respect of the anti-coronavirus barrier measures in schools. Consequently, she has announced that henceforth access to school premises will be restricted only to students who will put on a face mask. In the communiqué, Minister Nalo Valyonga indicates that unannounced checks will be conducted in schools to ensure students are effectively putting on their face mask both in classrooms and in the school campus. She adds that a general testing campaign will be conducted in schools. This measure comes at a time when Cameroon is witnessing a resurgence of COVID-19 cases confirmed in some schools in the economic capital Douala and the West region, attributed to the non-respect of anti-COVID-19 barrier measures. In our health page, the Minister of Public Health has announced that organization of the next national polio vaccine from tomorrow, November 18 to November 22, 2020. In a release signed by Communication Minister René Emmanuel Sadi, the Southwest region has already recorded some cases of the virus. Over 173,000 children from 0 to 5 years are targeted to receive the vaccine all over the 10 regions of the country. Using a door-to-door strategy, social mobilizers have been sent to households, churches, associations, and through the media to mobilize parents before immunization agents will administer 2 drops of the vaccine to children. The Minister of Public Health earlier organized the first set of the vaccination campaign earlier on November 7 to 10, 2020 all over the national territory. This is the package we had for you this evening, dear televiewers. Thanks for watching till the end. See you tomorrow for another edition at the same time. Until this, have a good evening.